That news coming through before the Champions League final. Won the title in his first season, but finished 5th in his second year in charge. Did secure the Champions League though, but with only 60 points. And so, Stevie, he is out. Jan and Frank are still here. What's your reaction though, Stevie?
I think it's the right thing to do. I had said all season, for the majority of it, that he had money in the bank because he won the Premier League. However, the final part of the season was a complete and utter disaster. And then the top hat on it was Mo Salah criticising the manager, and then half the squad jumping on and agreeing with it. When it gets that far, there's no way back for a manager with a squad of players. There's just no way back. And I was pretty sure, up until last week, when Steve McMahon was on, and Macca basically was saying that the feeling at Liverpool was that Arne Slot was going to get the start of the season. And I kind of accepted that. So the other day, when I woke up and found out that Slot had gone, this is the right thing to do. I think it's just, it had gone way too far, to the point where clearly the players weren't following what he was saying, or they'd lost trust in him. And the worst thing that can happen to any manager is when the actual fans turn against you and they're just sitting waiting on a mistake so they can get on your back. Then, wow, there's no way back. So I think in the end, it was the right decision.
Okay, so we're hearing that Andoni Iraola is the front runner right now, Jan. And just a couple of days ago, we were reporting that he's looking close to signing for Leverkusen. And we were just worrying or thinking, was he using Leverkusen for leverage in this situation? Was he ever really in it to come to the Bundesliga? Did he know what he was doing here?
Well, you get on the dance floor, you have a look around and you look for the best girls or the best men. And at the time when Iraola came in with his John Travolta kind of style, he saw that Leverkusen, the Bundesliga, was the best one to appear on. Yes, I definitely think that he used that. Should we use that word? That was the best club available for him. Now you see the same thing with Glasner, and suddenly here comes Olivia Newton-John walking on the dance floor, and that is, you're waiting for her, and that is Liverpool, and that is Liverpool. That is a big prize for any coach now being available. And to Stevie's point, all the signals out to Liverpool is that they would stick with him. And when you saw Alonso going to Chelsea, but that was also the report, Stevie, probably you heard it by yourself, that they didn't fancy Alonso as much as maybe all others said 2 + 2 is 4. And then Alonso went to Chelsea, and you think, well, it calmed down a bit now. And now Iraola, you must understand him. Even Oliver Glasner now will think, is there a chance that Olivia will take a dance with me? So this is the big one. So I accept that they go for what's available on the dance floor. Leverkusen, we'll see what's happening there. It could end up with Glasner, but everybody says that Iraola is the big favorite. I just came back from Germany today. They were talking about, they've asked Jurgen Klopp for advice, who could be the new Liverpool coach. That makes sense as well. The big wet dream for any Liverpool fans is to get Klopp back, but I can't see that happening. But still, I do understand that Iraola will play with the cards he's got.
Yeah, you wonder if Craig's been talking about it with the journalists that they'd seen at Wembley, whether Xabi Alonso was actually ever in it, or whether that is true, that they decided that it wasn't to be him right now. Because then you think, would Xabi Alonso be having second thoughts with how it's played out? But if he was never in the picture anyway, then it kind of makes sense, doesn't it?
It makes total sense. And listen, there's so much about Liverpool, certainly of the last 2, maybe 3 months, that does not make sense. The last 2 or 3 months, I thought Slot was out. I thought Xabi Alonso was in. I have to admit, the conspiracy theorist in me kind of wonders if this Iraola deal had been done quite some time ago. And I know the Leverkusen link doesn't fit into...
Hence him leaving his role and...
Yeah, the Leverkusen link doesn't fit into my conspiracy theory, but kind of given Liverpool kind of dwelling on pulling the trigger with Xabi Alonso, as I say, I felt it 2 or 3 months ago that Arne Slot should be on his way out. And then what kind of cropped up this week unexpectedly, Ibrahim Konate's contract. We thought that was done and that was signed. Now it turns out that it's not. So now, again, the conspiracy theorist in me is saying Iraola said, don't sign him. I've got plans for somebody else. We'll see how that pans out at the end of the summer. That's me being conspiracy theorist, wondering if this was signed a long time ago and quietly put away. If it was, and no leaks, that's impressive work.
Frank, you're obviously happy that you've got Xabi Alonso at Chelsea at the end of all of this.
Yes, and I'm very pleased if he has all the control and if the board understand the way they have to let him go and deal with the players. So that's going to be very nice. But I just want to go back to Liverpool. I mean, I've never been a big fan of Arne Slot. I always say that if he won the title last year, it's because he had the heritage of Jurgen Klopp, team best in the world, and the mojo, vanished a little bit, little by little, months after months, and we had what Slot didn't bring to that team, a renewal of a way of playing, and it didn't work for me. And I saw in the graphic that Luis Enrique might be the 5th choice. I think, Jan, I'm with you. I think the guy doesn't want to dance with Olivia Newton-John. He prefers to dance with Catherine Deneuve.
Oh my God. Right, we will move on from there, but thank you so much. Yes, make sure to stay up to date with everything you need to know over on our YouTube channel. You can click subscribe while you're there. It's ESPN FC. Just to put on a happy face after that, Shaka, or is it okay, we actually achieved something incredible this season, we've got to put that behind us?
Well, I hope that was the focus, and particularly I hope, and I firmly believe that was the focus of the fans who were there for that parade, letting the players know what was truly important, how monumental their achievement in winning the Premier League was. Let's be honest, anybody would love to be playing in a Champions League final as well. Okay, it doesn't work out, but for one club, nobody else was able to achieve that this season. So there's a lot for Arsenal to celebrate, but that's a tough mask to put on this soon after that big loss of the Champions League final. As the boys were all saying, hopefully with time it kind of bypasses you, but not that little time. I think it sits with everybody.
Go on, Jan.
If I may say, Kay, I think that the main thing for Arsenal, the problem for Arsenal, I think they will come over this Champions League final. I think in a longer perspective will be that before the game yesterday, I think 9 of 10 neutral fans wanted PSG to win. That is a problem for Arsenal. That is a problem for Arsenal because there is a kind of criticism that I think it will be harder for them. And it's interesting how that strategy will be now going into a new season. Because this season they started quite well. And when then they came closer and closer to achieve the target, to get closer and closer to win the Premier League, they kind of got that fluid way of Arsenal play that didn't work out. And I think that is a bigger problem for Arsenal because I think they deservedly won the league this season. And I respect them for that. But this public kind of analysis of the game, people talking about their anti-football. I would never use that word because I don't like that word because I see so many good players in that team. But I think that will be very interesting coming into next season. If Arteta will use this final, will he use these last couple of months to see how we're going to develop, how we're going to involve this team to kind of play on the great qualities they have also individually in that team.
Well, you could, right? Because if you were to pick one of the 4, you'd pick the Premier League, surely, if you could only win one of those 4 titles. Yeah. And in terms of the Premier League, they kept coming closer and closer. And that's what they've now done in the Champions League. Each season, they've come closer and closer, and now they got to the final. So surely he'll use that as a motivation going forward. I don't
think motivation in any way, shape or form is a problem. The problem is Arteta. This is an Arteta problem. I don't think this is the players' problem. You know, the players went out and played the way they did because of what Arteta told them to do. And how Arteta has told them over the course of this season what to do. So it's an Arteta problem. If he calms down and can relax a little bit and let them play more football, because they've got some great football players. Yes, They've got set pieces and they're organised and all of those things, all the time wasting. I mean, they've got most of it down to a fine art. But what they don't have down to a fine art is stepping on the field against anybody and knowing and thinking we can open up and play and we can beat anybody they put in front of us. So this, to me, this is an Arteta problem. If he can shake off all the other stuff, then this team could take another step and be an open attacking team. But if he doesn't calm down and he keeps preaching the same thing, you're just going to get the same type of football.
We'll see what Jules' kids thought of it. Maybe he talks about it on the latest Gab and Jules show. That will be coming up on Monday. You can check that out wherever you do get your podcasts. Okay, Arne Slot sacked at